Hello, everyone, and welcome here to a very special edition of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We are on site on location at Alfred University, making history with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media and Wake Up Call being the first ever interviews happening on Media Day in the history of any sport at Alfred University. So a unique media day, and these gentlemen get to be a part of it. And I'm here right now with Jake Kelsey, the wide receiver unit side of things that we get to feature here on the show. So wide receiver with the right sneakers. We'll show these at some point during the broadcast, but happy to be here with you in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Saxons. Jake, how are you?
Good. Happy to be here. How are you?
Happy to be here with you too. I got to ask you about the hair because it's pushing out of the band. It's coming out the sides. It looks like it wants to be free. So did you always have the long hair? Was it always a thing for you, or did it become a thing for you?
So I got my freshman year before I came here. I got a haircut like a week before I got here.
Okay.
And have not cut the back of my hair since.
And how long has this been?
This is my 5th year.
So you haven't cut your hair in 5 years?
I get it like trimmed up and stuff, but the length in the back, I just let the length in the back keep going.
So this is like your journey through football can be told in locks of hair, essentially.
Yep. And when I'm retired, I'm cutting it off.
When you're tired, you're cutting it off. So why was it just a thing for you to say, I'm just going to keep growing this out, and as long as I play football, the longer my hair gets?
Honestly, that's a good question. I just always liked the long hair. Like all my favorite receivers got the long hair. Larry Fitzgerald got the long hair. So I was like, you know what? Just gonna grow it out, see what happens. Grew it out, liked it. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna keep it.
So who do you think besides you, and I'm going to look at some of the people that we've talked to here, who do you think besides you has the best hair on the team?
The best hair on the team, I gotta go. I think you interviewed him earlier, Alex Royak.
I knew you were going to say Alex.
Yeah.
It's similar.
Just for the record, I started it though. He copied me.
Okay. His is a little bit different than yours too.
Yeah.
He's got like the short here. He's got this going on, and it's not so much a mullet. I said we've called it the Royak. Like it has its own name now. Okay. I think it should get its own like rights, media rights or whatever. So if we have the Royak, then how is the Kelsey different?
The Kelsey's different because we got it way longer in the back, and it poofs up. You know? His doesn't really poof up. You know what I mean?
Okay. Are you headbanding most of the time?
Headband every game.
Every game?
Every game, every practice. The only time I'm not in a headband is when I got a hat on.
Is this the normal underneath the helmet for you? Is it normally headband, just let the hair flow out the back?
Yep, always let the hair flow out the back.
Okay. Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it's comfortable. Gets a little scary if a defender want to pull on it.
I was going to say, because it's part of the jersey. So have you had somebody grab at it when you're running?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Let's not do that the 5th year.
Yeah. No.
You got to be faster.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a little motivation, you know?
Yeah. To just have a little bit more speed so they can't grab onto the hair.
Exactly.
So Jake, where do you hail from?
I'm from Rochester, New York.
Okay. So Rochester, born and raised, what part?
The Greece area.
Okay.
North Greece.
So how would you describe Rochester to someone who's never been there?
Rochester, it's a city obviously, but it's not like the biggest city around, but it's nice because you can get from one side of the city to the other side of the city quick. It's got everything you need in a city. You know, it's got sports teams. You know, you got the Rochester Red Wings, you got baseball, you got lacrosse, you got all this other stuff there. You got a nice theater, you got concerts there and everything, but then at the same time it's still got that like small community feel. You kind of know everybody, so it's nice. I like it.
I'm guessing you had to have been alive for this, obviously, when Spider-Man filmed there.
Oh yeah.
So the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Downtown.
Uh-huh.
I was in it.
Really? You were in it?
Yeah. I'm one of the extras that made it on camera in the movie.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So did you go down and try to sneak a peek and see anything when we were down there?
No, I wasn't really around. I'm honestly more of a Batman guy. I'm not a big Spider-Man guy, but
okay. Sunk my heart a little bit. Favorite Batman of all time?
Oh, I don't remember the exact name, but the one with the first Joker in it, the very first one where Joker's in it.
So Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's the best one.
That's the best one.
That's the best.
He's the one that comes back in The Flash, which is a horrendous movie, and I love The Flash, but it was so bad. It was so bad. But Mike, yeah, Michael Keaton's special. Why is he your favorite?
I feel like it was more the movie in general than
Okay.
Michael Keaton.
So you liked it when Jack Nicholson was the Joker.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Here's the Joker. Yeah, like it's a very interesting way to play it, but he was fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going back to Rochester for a second here. Garbage plate. To have or not to have? Do you eat them?
Oh, 100%. You have to have a garbage plate.
I was at the place that was like the starter of it, the one like downtown, 100 whatever years old.
Tahoe's.
So yeah, so yes, Nick Tahoe's. But then I went to another one a little bit outside, and I like that one better. I thought it had like more of a sweetness to it. So do you have a place, or is it Nick Tahoe's?
I like Dogtown.
Dogtown? Okay.
Dogtown. It's down in the city too.
Okay. What's different about it? What makes it unique? Because there's so many places that attempt the garbage plate.
I feel like what really makes the garbage plate is the mac salad, the crispiness of the home fries,
Yeah.
and then the patties. Because some places you go and it's like a little skinny burger and it's like, but they got good burgers, good mac salad, crispy home fries, everything you need.
Does your family attempt to make it at home?
Oh, definitely. All the time.
Who makes it?
My mom.
What's mom's name?
Trish.
Trish. Shout out to Trish. How does Trish make it? What does Trish do?
Well, she already makes the best mac salad hands down, no matter what. So that part's easy.
Okay.
And then you get some good burgers. She knows how to cook a burger. Get those home fries, throw them right in the air fryer, let those get nice and crispy. You got a perfect garbage plate. You got that. You got to have the meat sauce too, that meat hot sauce.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does she try to make her own? Does she buy it from somewhere when we're putting the sauce on it?
It depends. If she's got time, she'll make it. If we're just doing it quick, get some from the store.
Now I like a little mustard on mine. You put a little mustard in yours?
Oh, I put everything on mine.
Everything in
Mustard,
yours?
ketchup, meat sauce, and relish.
There's a lot of, there's some, I haven't had one in a really long time, but there's something to it that's just special. Do you like the fact that Rochester is known for it?
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that.
How would you, so besides food, what are things about Rochester that you like?
I feel like in general, the people from Rochester and the athletes specifically from Rochester have like a different edge to them because a lot of the people from Rochester, no matter whether you're an athlete or just a person like going to school, getting a job, like you get overlooked a lot more because you're from Rochester. You're not from Syracuse. You're not from New York City. You're not from Buffalo. So in general, like a lot of recruiters don't come up there. There's a lot of talent in Rochester that just gets overlooked because it's Rochester and they don't get looked at as if you're coming to New York to recruit, you're going to New York City, you might go to Syracuse, you might go to Buffalo, you might go to Long Island, but Rochester is usually at the end of that list. So I feel like a lot of there's just so much talent in Rochester that gets under recruited. So everyone from Rochester works 10 times harder than anywhere else you go.
And I was going to say, I imagine it puts a chip on your shoulder and made you work harder because, and I mean, this is something that I've kept with me for a really long time. Upstate in central New York and just the state of New York in general, it's personal for me that no matter what the sport is, that every man and woman, boy and girl in the state of New York knows that, and really, I mean, really anywhere, but because the state of New York is my home, I find it personal and important that on my show, I do everything in my power to spotlight all of you, no matter what the sport is, because I feel like you've earned it. You should have it. And I just feel like it's something that until my dying day, I'm going to fight for because I agree with you. I don't know why it is. I think it's unfortunate and I think it's wrong, but the whole notion of there's nothing in New York, there's no reason to go up to New York. It's so factually false. I don't know who started the lie, but I try to break the lie every day. And I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, definitely.
So where did you go to high school?
I went to Hilton High School.
Okay. So that chip on your shoulder, that need to work a little bit harder. How did you connect with Alfred? How did it work out that you could come and continue your career when I know that Alfred's in the state of New York, but it's obviously not, down the road from where you are?
Yeah. So Alfred was one of the very first schools that started talking to me in the recruiting process, like my sophomore, junior year. And then there was a couple guys from my high school that came here and had a lot of success before me. Guys like Nick Milgate, who was a captain here a few years ago, had a pick six, and I believe it was the Elite Eight back in 2017 as a freshman. So seeing guys like him, guys like Nick Walsh, who was an offensive lineman, come here and start as a freshman and do their thing, it kind of showed me this is a place that I could come from Hilton. My talents will translate over here, and it just seemed like the place to be.
Wide receiver wise, was that always what you wanted to do? Or when did it start for you where you thought, hey, you know what? I think wide receiver would be good.
Well, I kind of always wanted to be a receiver, but like I bounced around a lot. Like when I was younger on Pop Warner, I would be playing on the O-line. My dad was an offensive lineman and he was my coach. So I was playing on the O-line, and then I was like, no, I want to play receiver. Kind of got moved to running back for a year or two, got to middle school. I was like, all right, now I can pick my position. I'm going to play receiver. Got to play that for a few years and it was okay. But it was really when I started doing training with CTC, changing the community in Rochester, 7-on-7 and training program. Shout out to them. But they really showed me like what you got to do to be a receiver, and like gave me that confidence that I needed to say like, oh, like I can really do this. Like I can really be a receiver. Like I'm playing with the best guys around and I'm holding my own. Like that's what really gave me the confidence and told me like, yeah, like you're a receiver, like you're going to play receiver. And I just stuck with it.
So you just felt like they push you within that program to develop yourself to a point where you're like, not only do I want to play this position, but I know that I can elevate my game to beat out some of these people.
Exactly. I knew just being around those people, being around that talent, being around that coaching staff that really, really cared and really pushed you to be the best you could be. I knew if I'm this good right now, I keep training with them. This time next year, I'm going to be 10 times better. Like it just keeps like their track record is great. They sent a lot of guys D1, a couple guys to the NFL. Like it's just, it really lets you know, like, even though I'm from Rochester, if I'm training with this guy and he just went to the NFL last year and he just went to Notre Dame, it's like, why can't I?
Who did you train with that you just really are like, this person or these people just brought something out of me? Do you have a mentor or two that you want to mention specifically?
Really, I mean, honestly, I looked up more to Coach Greg Hopkins. He actually just got the job over at Monroe High School in Rochester now. And there were a lot of other guys that were kind of in and out, but he was really like the one guy who kind of stuck with me through everything and like he was there every Tuesday, Thursday at the trainings. Like other people would be in and out with, work and other obligations, other sports, but every single Tuesday, Thursday, he made sure he was there. He was always like he always brought the energy. He wasn't just there sitting back watching. Like, no, he would watch you play. And if you made a mistake, he would let you know you made a mistake. He wouldn't sugarcoat it. He wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, no, he'd tell you straight to your face. Like, if you want to play, you got to do this. Like, you can do that if you want, but if you want to play and you want to get to the next level and you want to be great, you have to do this. So it was nice to kind of have that firm voice at all times, high energy, letting you know, no, like even if you're having an off day, like leave that at the door and come train hard, because that's what the greats do.
What made you believe in that voice? Because some people don't want to hear criticism. They want to be told that they're great all the time. We live in a society where people do absolutely nothing and they want to be told that they're awesome. So why do you appreciate somebody saying, hey, this is how you get better? Why do you listen to leadership?
I've just always been one of those guys who I feel like if I'm just sitting there and you're just telling me good, and you're not telling me what to do to get better, I just kind of feel like it's almost wasting my time. You know what I mean? Like I want to have a voice that's letting me know, like, I know when I catch the ball, that's good. I don't need someone to tell me that's good. You scored. That's good. I need someone to tell me, yeah, you scored, but you could have done this. You could have done this. You could have done this. And that's what he would do.
So before we get into rapid fire here with Jake Kelsey, wide receiver for the Alfred University Saxons in this wake up call special, you come to Alfred, you're here with me right now. Hindsight 2020, would you choose it again?
100%.
Why?
The way things worked out for me, I think, was better than I could have ever imagined. I mean, I came here as a tight end. I was recruited as a linebacker. Always knew I wanted to be a receiver. You just got to trust the process, stuck through the process. Took a couple of years, but got switched to receiver, made the most of it. I came here as like the 12th string tight end in my last season. I'm, captain. So I felt like just keeping my head down and just working, everything went the way I wanted it to. Kind of always knew it was going to go that way. Just had to sit back, wait your turn, put the work in, and yeah, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Why did you keep the faith and keep the hope and believe in yourself and bet on yourself when it didn't look like you said, 12 string tight end, when you come in tight end, linebacker, but you're like, hey, I want to play receiver. I know it's going to happen. And now you're a captain. Why did you believe in yourself? How did you keep the faith? How did you do it?
Honestly, I just always knew from the time I was like 5 years old, I knew like I was going to be playing college football and I was going to be playing. I wasn't going to be just on the team. I knew I was going to be playing. So when I got here, I knew I was like, just because you're not starting now, you can't just quit. Like if I told myself 10 years ago I was just going to come here and quit, that wouldn't be cool with the 15-year-old version of me or the 10-year-old version of me. We knew what we wanted to do. We know this isn't even going to be the end. Like this is just the beginning. So after college, we're going to keep playing, but it's just it was more just to my younger self, to let my younger self know, like, yeah, like we did it. Like we're not quitting. Like we came here to do this. Like we didn't come here to play 2 years and just give up. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. We know what we can do. I mean, even like, again, with that CTC training, I'm playing against every day, playing against guys that are D1 and I'm D3. I know I can hold my own against D3 if I'm beating D1 guys every day over the summer, over the trainings. Like I just always knew, honestly.
Bet on yourself, believe in yourself, and actually do the work. Jake Kelsey giving you a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So I hope y'all are taking it that are watching and listening. Rapid fire time. You get to start.
Okay. Favorite baseball team?
Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to have my own team. Love Randy Johnson. And it's the first team that first of any of my teams that I ever got to see win a championship. So they won in 01. And then I've seen a bunch of my teams win. Almost all my teams have won since then. But I'll always be a D-back.
Okay.
Always be. So, all right, Jake. Well, a wide receiver's relationship with a quarterback is important. Shout out your quarterback to the people that don't know and your relationship with your quarterback.
Yeah, shout out Chris Kelly. Even early in his recruiting, because he's a sophomore, so I was here while we were recruiting him and everything. And the whole time we were recruiting quarterbacks, I honestly knew this kid was going to be special. He broke records at his high school before he even came here. And as soon as he got here, he's a people person. He's personable. He listens. He's not one of those guys that if you tell him, oh, you should have done this, he's not just going to say, oh, screw off. Like I'm the quarterback. Like, no, he listens. He wants to get better. He wants you to be the best you can be. So it's nice to have a quarterback like that who listens and is like there for you, there to help everybody. He's not just there for himself. He's not just in it for him.
I love it. And your relationship with him. So kind of going off of that.
Yeah, no, he's a good friend. He's a great guy. He's off the field. He's someone who's nice to hang out with, have a good time. He's smart. He's not going to do stuff to get you in trouble. He's going to keep everyone else out of trouble too. He's just a good person all around.
Love it. All right. What's your second question for me?
Why did you start doing what you do?
I love bringing people together. I'm a positive person. I have a strong faith. So I just love sports. I have a photographic memory. I collected sports cards growing up, flip to the back, would look at the stats, and then I just start talking about it. And I kept just kind of like taking in information and then creating ideas and putting out those ideas and backing it with the information. And I just fell in love with that when I already love bringing people together and I love positivity and I love making people laugh. So, and storytelling. So it just kind of all merged together. Like whatever I do in my life, I'm going to have to be a storyteller. So it's what I do, but it's only a part of what I'm going to do. I got a lot of ideas, and before I'm off this earth, I'm going to make sure I do whatever God lets me do.
Gotcha.
All right, Jake, let's see here. You and I are going on a trip. We got to pick one activity. We got to pick where we're going, and we're going to take one celebrity. So what's the activity? Where are we going? Who's coming with us?
We are definitely going to go golfing.
Okay.
And we're going to go golfing in somewhere tropical. Maybe we go golfing down in Hawaii. Never been there before. Go golfing down there. And I'm definitely bringing Larry Fitzgerald no matter what I'm doing, where I'm going.
Okay. Why Fitz?
He was just always like the biggest like inspiration to me growing up. The first like football game I really watched was that Super Bowl with the Cardinals and the Steelers, where he had like 2 touchdowns, and was just, ever since I saw him, fell in love with football, fell in love with receiver. Just, he's a great person too. Like, he doesn't know off the field issues, none of that. Like, he's just the type of person you want to be when you get him.
Yeah, well, I like it, and I got a lot of respect for Fitz. I think of him as arguably like the smartest football player I've ever seen, but not about football. It's the way he talks about life. But just anybody I've seen in the NFL, I'm like, I don't know if I would want to have an intellectual conversation with anyone more than Fitz.
Exactly. I try to think about what he would do when I'm doing stuff. It's
That's cool.
do the smart stuff. Think about, study the game, learn the game. Because if a guy, I mean, he was never the fastest guy. I'm not the fastest guy, and he made it to the highest level. So try to follow in his footsteps.
I love that. All right, what's the last one for me?
If you could play any position, what would you play?
For football?
Yep.
Running back or quarterback? But being 5'8", running back. But yeah, probably running back. I like making people miss, and I know because we would play, kind of like street ball, whatever. But I'm the type of person where I would love being able to beat that last guy and then turn around and get the smirk. Like, I would love being able to do that. So yeah, I would say that. All right, Jake, last question for you. You are going to walk around for the rest of your life with a sign above your head that flashes something. It describes you. It's a neon light. So everywhere you go, people that don't know you, they just see this. You walk somewhere, boom, there's the thing. What does it say?
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Simple as that, right?
Simple as that.
I love it. Jake Kelsey, wide receiver, Alfred University Saxons, myself, Dan Tortora, making history on campus with Wake Up Call and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. Make sure you come out and support your Saxons for all sports, including football season. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.